Okay, my name's John Handshoe. I teach science at Hazard High School in Perry County, Kentucky. Our project, Recycling Hazard, it sounds like it's some sort of either environmental issue or something like that, but it is strictly just because we're from Hazard. But what we wanted to do this year, we've had, in the past, we've had school recycling programs. You guys probably have as well. What we wanted to do this year, to give it a little bit of a tweak, was to actually take some of these materials that we pull out of Hazard's High School's waste stream and actually put them to use, maybe even recycle them ourselves, and just try to do something with some of this material other than taking it to a recycling center and submitting it. So our actual project is going to involve taking the students pretty much every day through the week. We purchased some recycling bins and we're going to distribute them, set them up around the school. We're looking at the waste stream products we're looking at paper, plastic, including mostly pop bottles, polystyrene, styrofoam containers, things like that, and aluminum, mostly in the form of cans. Out of this waste stream, that we figure this is going to be the majority of our waste stream. That's what we're estimating. So as these recyclables come into our school, the students are going to be responsible for collecting data on the actual volume of materials that's coming in. The total amount of material that they collect, and then we're going to try to take as much of this material as possible and repurpose it in a couple of different ways. In terms of paper, one of the things we wanted to do, but we didn't get to add it to our program, we actually wanted to recycle paper in-house. To recycle it would involve basically, I don't know if any of you all have ever recycled paper before, but it involves something along the lines of a blender, water, some sort of material oxidizer to bleach it, and then a process for collecting the pulp and drying it. Right now, with the amount of time that we had, we decided we were not going to include paper this year. The aluminum, the majority of the aluminum that we've seen recycled in the past in terms of cans, generally gets hauled to the local recycling center and either sold or donated somewhere or something like that. What we're doing differently this year, one of my other projects has to do with a device called an aluminum air battery. It's a new type of technology. It's been out 20 or 30 years, but they're still working the bugs out on it. So one of the things that this battery requires are electrodes made out of aluminum and air. Possible solution to one of the issues with these batteries is the actual design of the electrode. So as our aluminum cans come in, we plan on actually melting these cans down ourselves and forging our own electrodes for this other project. So what we're trying to do is utilize some of this waste stream in one of our other projects, and hopefully we'll see how that works out without burning the building down or anything like that. Our biggest plastic is probably going to be plastic bottles. We're actually still trying to figure out the best way to reuse or recycle those. Polyethylene, polypropylene bottles they're difficult to melt and recycle. So that's going to be one of the challenges that we come up with for this. The other major plastic we have are food trays. Our cafeteria throws away hundreds of these every day. So right now we're in the process of determining the best way we can collect these, give them a good quick initial cleaning, and we've got a chemical process that we are planning on using that will take polystyrene or styrofoam, will basically remove the air from it and reduce it down to probably a 20th or a 30th of its volume. The plastic that comes from polystyrene, you'll see it in Dixie cups, the disposable cups. All of you teachers have had rulers in your classroom before, the kind that are clear, and when you bend them too much they shatter. That's polystyrene. So one of the things we're looking at doing with this is actually taking this polystyrene and taking not the styrofoam, but the polystyrene, and making some other material from it. We've had a couple of challenges so far. I don't know if you guys, but we have where when we get funded for a project like this, it tends to take quite a while from the award to the time that our central office tends to actually place the order and we get it in. So if any of you guys have any nice insight into solutions for that, it would be greatly appreciated. Other issues that we're dealing with right now are issues with basically just getting students to agree once a day, every day through the week, to go ahead and collect this stuff. Instead of putting several different receptacles for each different type of recyclable around the campus, what we've opted for is to put one recycling bin at different locations, and then the students are going to be responsible for doing the sorting. So far they're okay with that. We'll see how that works out in reality a little bit farther down the road. What we hope to achieve from this is to be able to get some good data from how much waste materials are coming through our high school, figuring out what percentage of that we can remove and actually use in some other process or something like that, and hopefully, possibly somewhere down the road, maybe do some extrapolating and see what we're looking at doing this for a 2-month maybe time period, but looking at this and being able to see maybe farther down the road what type of impact this could have if we stretch it out over a full school year. And does anyone have any questions about this?